who is in my birth team, where am I going to give birth, and if I have to have a C-section again, what is my plan to have the C-section that I'm hoping for this time around. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. We have a special little guest today. Say hello, Jaden. And he's just gonna be with me. I'm doing this video quite late in the day, and that means that Jaden is home and he's going to be in and out as he wishes, but he will join us for some part of the video today. I'm Elmain. If you're new here, I make lifestyle, motherhood and motivational content on this channel and on my website and blog. I hope that you will subscribe if you're not already. And if you've been here for a while, thank you for joining me for another video. And with that, let's start today's update. So let's quickly check what my app has to say. So today the baby is 14.2 centimeters long and 190 grams. Your baby is practicing breathing with amniotic fluid, and their chest is moving in rhythm as if breathing air. Your baby's hearing has now developed so that they can hear the sounds coming from outside of the womb much clearer. Your baby's immune system is busy preparing for life outside the womb. A protective coating of the nerves is now being produced. An ultrasound done at this point would be able to detect any structural abnormality. Your baby's umbilical cord is growing and continues to support your baby's growing needs. Basically, all my first trimester symptoms have either disappeared or I have them under control with the help of my GP or my chiropractor. So I'm not going to discuss any of that today. So something new this week is that I have stopped using my antihistamines completely. I just feel like my sinus at the moment is under control enough that I can manage during the night, and it's been going really well. I've really been coping, and I don't see that I'm going to be needing them for the rest of this pregnancy. A brand new symptom that I've been experiencing this week is some gum tenderness. This is something that I struggle with on a normal day as well, because I have PCOS, and periodontal disease and gum tenderness can be a symptom of your PCOS. So I'm now also experiencing during this pregnancy, and I also experienced the same during my first pregnancy. All I can really do for it is when I feel my gums getting tender, and if there's any bleeding, all I do is rinse my mouth a few times a day with some salt water, and the rest of the time I just try and brush with a gum sensitive toothpaste, and I also use a charcoal soft toothbrush, and that's something I do again on a normal basis anyway. So it's not new for me that I need to do these type of things, but my gums are definitely more tender than normal, whereas I've pretty much had it under control for the last few years. Then another new symptom I've been experiencing is dizziness, and yeah, I've been getting really lightheaded in the end of this week, where I've just, whenever I get up very quickly or whenever I've done a few physical tasks, I do get quite dizzy, and it's actually one day been to the point where the dizziness was so bad that it got accompanied by nausea, and I actually got quite sick from it. Just for like 10 minutes or so that I got sick, but it isn't something that I'm used to. It's definitely something new. It's definitely got to do with my pregnancy. So I've just been taking it a little bit easy, listening to my body a little bit more. So when I do a couple of physical tasks, or when I've been quite busy during the day, to listen to my body and know when I need to sit down for a few minutes and just catch my breath, when I need to have a snack, just eat something, when I might be dehydrated, and when I really need to go and lie down and take it easy for that day. That is pretty much it for my new symptoms during week 17. If you've been wondering, no, I haven't felt any movement yet, which I think is still due to my anterior placenta. I'm fairly certain that if it wasn't for that I would have felt movement by now. So let's talk about my birth team. This time around, I've actually been planning quite a bit earlier. I'm probably falling under very few that do start planning this early. And the reason for that is because I know now what areas I wish I could have changed in Jaden's birth and where I would have done things a little bit differently. This time around, I want to make sure that those things are in place already early on, so that if there's anything that I cannot have in my birth plan that I do want, that I can mentally start preparing for that. So my birth team consists of my midwife, a doula, a photographer, and of course Niku. I see Niku as part of my birth team. My doula is basically there to assist Niku in helping me get through the birth, helping him be the support that I need. And he's quite good at that already because he's been through this once. I've done doula training, so he knows quite a bit, probably a bit more than most men do, most husbands do. But I see him as part of my birth team and not just my partner. It's still up for discussion if I'm going to have a home birth or whether I am going to have a birth at a birth clinic. If I have a home birth, this would be much less complicated. I can pretty much have the birth team that I want and that can be here with me all the time or for as long as I need them or wish to have them here. If I do end up going to a birth center, I just want to clear up here as well, I'm not against a birth center. A birth center would be my second choice anyway. The thing is with the pandemic, rules have been really strict, and birth clinics and hospitals are really allowing a lot less than they used to, and not just in terms of who goes in and out, but who can actually be at my birth. And that to me that's a difficult pill to swallow, because I really want all the people there that I pretty much had at my first birth. If I end up having my birth at the birth center, there is going to be some restrictions as to who can be at my labor and birth. And yes, that means that my photographer will most likely not be able to be with me, and that to me is almost a non-negotiable. I had Jaden's birth documented, and we have all of that from my first birth, and I'm just not willing to not have that this time around, which might sound silly, but I remember, or I couldn't remember as much from his birth as I would have wanted to, and that was obviously for a couple of reasons. Probably the main one being that my body was just pumped full of so many hormones at the time. So because I couldn't remember as much, that videography and the photos that my photographer took helped me kind of come to terms with everything that happened that day, the good in the beginning of the day, and then basically for the first 24 hours, and then when we actually had to go to hospital and all of that, she really helped me deal with that part. I did have postpartum depression, and I think it was mainly caused by the fact that I didn't have the birth, a labor and birth, that I wanted to have. So being able to see the birth from someone else's perspective and seeing how hard I worked to get this baby out in the way that I really wanted to, really helped me come to terms with what the birth that I ended up having. So that's why this is so important to me, even though some people might be like, what, who cares, your husband can take a photo or your doula can take a photo. It's just not going to be the same, because she literally tells a story. It's like literally watching a documentary of your birth. If for some reason I end up needing a C-section, this time I really want to be much more prepared, feel like I have a little bit of control over it because I have planned ahead for a C-section if need be. I've got a 20-week appointment with my doctor, my backup doctor, and at that appointment I'm going to discuss a gentle C-section with him, so that this time if I do have a C-section, somehow I still feel like we planned for it, which I thought I did the first pregnancy and the first birth, but I definitely wasn't mentally prepared for a C-section then. And this time I do want to be in a better space after the birth than I was with Jaden. So definitely want to plan better for that, and just have my doula or my midwife remind my doctor on the day of the birth, remind my doctor of my wishes, because if it is going to be the way it was, I can tell you now, I will not be able to advocate for myself. I think that if I just plan a little bit better this time, because I know a lot more than I did the last time, things will just go maybe a little bit smoother. Well, as smooth as they can go with a birth. And that is all I have for today. This little man was actually really good, just sitting quietly here next to me. If you're not subscribed, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, it really helps out my channel, and I hope that I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Love you.